Now, another one you guys sent in this week says, hey, Doc, autoimmune disorders seem to be on the rise. We seem to be seeing more and more of these things. So autoimmune is kind of the I don't know of the healthcare world. We're not really sure why it's happening. We don't know what's going on. And this thing's saying it's on the rise, or it looks to be. Is there a reason? What's your opinion on that? So I'll give you my opinion, right? We all have one, right, Paulie? So
Absolutely.
Is it on the rise? 100% yes. There's no doubt about it. Autoimmune disorders are on the rise. And I had this talk the other day with a family sitting in my practice. We were discussing shingles. And I looked at them. And they're both, 70s, 80s, right, in that age range. And I just sat there and said, when you guys were kids, how many people do you remember having shingles? When you were young adults, how many people do you remember having shingles?
Not very many.
And that was it. And that was exactly what they both told me. They both sat there and said, it wasn't, every now and then you might hear about it, but it wasn't that common. If you look around today, how many people do you know having shingles?
A lot more than
Oh my
when I was
God,
a
it's
kid.
all the time. I know 3 dozen, right? And I look at that and think to myself, it's all the time. And so you got to ask yourself, well, why now, right? We're doing shots for shingles now to prevent it. Why would it be on the rise then? If we're doing all these things to prevent it, why is it going up? And it clearly is going up. That's the question. That's where you lump autoimmune disorders in with that, just like you would with shingles, just like you would with allergies, just like you do with respiratory problems, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, up. All these things are increasing. Autism's increasing. Alzheimer's is increasing. All these neurologic disorders are on the rise. Now we say, why? Well, you got to go back to basics. Start with your environment. It's the easiest place to begin. Is there anything in the environment? If chemotherapy can cause neuropathy, as we saw earlier, then why couldn't other chemicals aggravate the body too? And they do. That's just all there is to it. They do. We've linked them to blocking hormones. We've linked them to infertility. Can it be any surprise that environmental chemicals and things of that nature can aggravate other things in the body? Now, I get it. It's the world we live in. We have to learn to adapt. You got to balance the body so it can adapt. That's the key to this. If you balance the body, then the environment it lives in is not that stressful to it. If you don't know how to balance it, then you're at its mercy, right? You're going to subject to it. That's how it works. So are autoimmune disorders on the rise? Yes. Is our food chain somewhat to blame for it? In my opinion, yes. Are the environmental chemicals that we're dumping into the environment 24/7 part of it as well? Sure it is, right? Everything from cell phones to electricity, you name it. All these things have a role. Are any one thing doing it? No. There's no one thing that's doing it. And that's what makes it so hard to track down, right? It's like when tobacco years ago was fighting against lung cancers and all these things. Oh, it doesn't cause lung cancer. Look, we did a 4-week study. No one got lung cancer. All right, do a 4-year study and see what happens. It's like with weight loss. You see weight loss all the time. Oh, hey, weight loss programs, they all work great. Till you study them for 2 years, and then they all fail. No one ever does that. Look, 6 months, I dropped 30 pounds. Sure. 2 years out, you gain it all back and 5 more. Because no one ever does that. That's how this works. Pay attention to your environment. Balance the body. Study what we can study. Learn. Eat real food the most you can. Okay, chew it well. Try to de-stress yourself. You do that, you're going to be just fine. And you don't have to worry about all these things. Okay, it's easy. It's simple. I see them all the time in practice. I see more autoimmune conditions you could probably shake a stick at. Right? It's just how it works. And guess what happens to them? The ones that come in. I got to be careful. The ones that come see me tend to go away. I don't know, call it dormant, call it disappear, I don't care. Goes to sleep for the rest of your life, doesn't matter to me, but they go away. And that's how it works, right? That's what it's about. That's healthcare. That's healing the body. So it doesn't matter if you got bad knees, a hip, or ulcerative colitis. If you balance the body, amazing things can happen. You just have to know how. That's why we do the Healthy Shamrock.